The city of joy, the cultural capital of India, and a food paradise. While all these things truly define Kolkata's identity, the city is all set to redefine itself to emerge as the gateway to the world. A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. I'm Ritvika Gupta, and you're watching highlights from our recently concluded Kolkata Springboard. Before we get to the panel discussion, here's a quick look at what Kolkata has to offer. Kolkata, often referred to as the city of joy, boasts a rich and dynamic history that has shaped it over the years. From being the capital of British India to emerging as a cosmopolitan hub that is helping advance the country's economic growth story.
When we grew up, it was something else in North Calcutta. The things were very cozy and all those things. Now the things are, you can say, as it happens. It's developing pretty fast. The skyline is not seen because there's lots of jungles of buildings coming up. But of course, the things are coming for the better.
Let's explore the promising tale of Kolkata's ascension as a crucial hub for India-ASEAN connectivity and navigate the path ahead as Kolkata gears up to become the epicenter of this strategic endeavor.
को हाईवे टाइम लगेगा लेकिन बन जाएगा। ये हाईवे बनने के बाद में इम्प्रूवमेंट बहुत इम्प्रूवमेंट होगा इन बिजनेस ऑल्सो कैलकाटा इज नंबर 1 इन होल इंडिया।
Join us as key industry leaders share insights into investment, the resilience of MSMEs, and the vital role of technology and innovation in ensuring sustainable growth. On that note, here are the highlights from our Kolkata Springboard panel discussion, where we discuss the opportunities and challenges impacting Kolkata's business landscape. I'll be chatting with Achyut Chandra, Chairman MSME Committee, Bharat Chamber of Commerce, Ajay Mal, Founder and Managing Director, Malcolm Group of Companies, and Shreedeep Malik, Co-owner, Balram Malik. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for being with us today to really, discuss with us what makes Kolkata tick in the world of business and what are the steps that we need to take to make it a global hub, for India-ASEAN connectivity. So let me start this discussion with Mr. Chandra. I'll come to you first. Historically, Kolkata is known, for its manufacturing trade, from the colonial times. So I want to put the spotlight on Kolkata as a city, How do you think that legacy, that history, has had an impact of today's landscape, today's business landscape in terms of ease of doing business, in terms of the infrastructure? What can you tell us?
Today the world is evolving very fast. Now we are living on the historical part, but that was, even if you see at the Mughal times, Eastern India was controlling almost about 25% of world GDP, and also during the British era. But the thing is, the world has moved forward. Unfortunately, Eastern India has not kept in tune and the speed of the world development. Even that includes some part of India, which has progressed very well. So whatever be the reasons, we need to totally refurbish our thought process, infrastructure, and we have to really rethink and re-establish a new product.
Right, absolutely. And definitely I will come to that as well. Coming to you, Mr. Ajay. Now, your company is headquartered in Kolkata and you've been in the business for many, many years. Tell me, how have you seen the business landscape here evolve over the years, and especially, for an industry like yours, where you're into, protective equipment gear, right? How has that impacted your business?
Good evening and thank you for inviting me. It has been nice to speak about what we have been able to achieve. But I must tell you that, if you really talk about Calcutta or Bengal or in this eastern part of India, having known that we had a bright, past which got lost in between. But the fact remains that the hinterland is still so vibrant. The talented pool of skilled manpower is still there. just to channelize them is the only thing which the entrepreneur has to really take it forward and bring it to the table. That's all. I think that's what we have been trying to do. 40 years we are into this business, and fortunately we have been growing. We have been employing more than 3,000 people, and largely the business is on export logistic, which is not so, let's say, nice out of Calcutta, but still we do it quite well. So I would say that yes, there are challenges, but I mean, that's the entrepreneurship. We have to take the challenge.
Absolutely. Shreedeep, coming to you now. Now, when you think of Kolkata, you think of Mishti. And when you think of Mishti, one of the top sweet brands that come to our mind is Balram Malik. But what I actually want to ask you is that, how are you sort of leveraging your identity as a business, that is so rooted in Kolkata? You have, you're connected with Kolkata's culinary heritage for many, many years, and the brand resonates with the local community here. How are you sort of, leveraging this identity to take the flavors of Kolkata on a global stage?
Thank you so much, Ritika. So, how do I look about it? You have already introduced that Calcutta means sweets. So, whenever you think about Bengal or Calcutta, the first thing people thinks about is Rasgulla or Mishti Doi or whatever you say. So, already Bengali sweets are world famous. It has done its branding by itself, by the taste of it. So now I have to build my own brand. So now I want to see Calcutta synonymous to Balram Malik, not Rasgulla. So that way, sweets has a huge potential. Bengali sweets has a huge potential, immense potential, if we can extend the shelf life of it. Only one product, that is Rasgulla, has been canned so far, and it is going all around the world. But now if I can similarly, if I can pack Mishti Doi, Sandesh, and extend its shelf life, I think we can beat chocolate any day. So I look forward as a competitor of a chocolate. Chocolate has $40 billion business all around the world, and that is huge. It is more than 40, and it is going to be, in next 3 years, it will be a $70 billion business, and that is the way chocolate is growing. So if we can catch up to a little bit of it, maybe 10% of it, our industry will be huge.
Essentially why we are here today is also to discuss how the city is redefining itself, and the theme, the rising hub of India-ASEAN connectivity. Now, as we know, the trilateral highway, that is, coming up. I want to open this up like a common question to all of you. How do you think that is going to really change the game, for Kolkata? Because, from what Mr. Chandra said, from Mr. Ajay said, that something went lost in translation, for the east side of India, right? So how do you think this will actually be a game changer? Let's start with you, Mr. Chandra.
Today, the cheapest transportation is by water, the sea or river. Today, if we look at the geography, today Kolkata, if you have to reach the ASEAN highway, you have to go all around Assam and go there. So I don't see a land transport working out to be cost effective for any product in and out of Kolkata to the South Asian market. The sea route will be always the cheaper. I think business houses will prefer that. Now, coming to the ASEAN highway, I think the states that will benefit, which was locked up for many years, that will be the Northeast, because they were devoid of any seaport for them. Perhaps they can now, with the ASEAN highway, in maybe the government's arrangement, that we can access the Myanmar ports and even Bangladesh ports. So I think it will be a big boost to the northeastern states than Bengal or Kolkata, because Kolkata, we have our own access to the sea. That's it.
Do you have a differing point of view, Ajay?
Well, just taking it forward from what Achu said just now, of course, the longer route to ASEAN from Calcutta on road is not really very, very viable kind of proposition unless we can make a little detour via Bangladesh and make it shorter, which will make sense. I don't know how practically or politically it is possible.
Right. Sudeep, what about you? What do you think? Is this too much of an ambitious, aim to have?
It is futuristic, as Mr. Mal said that there has to be a detour if we can bypass another road from Bangladesh to that and connect to that road. I believe any development locally will boost my business and every other sector. Like if there is a factory coming up with 10,000 people opening in Calcutta, then they has to procure everything. They has to buy sweets for their inauguration to maybe farewell of an employee. So I will be benefited from that, and every sector will be benefited, and the whole business of that state will increase. And but there is another point. But this northeast region, of course, it will be getting benefited. We don't know what will happen to West Bengal directly. But there are many products that we intend to get from Thailand and other parts of these Asian states. They will be available maybe. Maybe they will be available to us. Like for instance, I was trying to get a mandarin orange from Thailand, which I could not get because of the logistic and other norms. So the trade norms has to be made easy also. Not only a road will not suffice. Also the trade norms has to get easy. And with more trade, more business, every sector will develop.
It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. You're watching highlights from our recently concluded Kolkata Springboard. Take a look.
Okay, so from a business point of view, I think I totally understand where you're coming from. But, in terms of tourism, in terms of a cultural exchange, I think this will definitely, put Kolkata as a focal point, right? And also coming to you, Mr. Chandra, what can you tell us about how this may impact the smaller businesses? Because coming from someone who has been the chairman at the MSME committee of Bharat Chamber of Commerce, right? How do you think Kolkata's current landscape is also really helping accelerate growth for smaller businesses, for startups, for MSMEs?
So you have to understand the investment of business. The three segments, let's put it in three segments. One is the big pocket investment, that's a big investment. Then there is the MSME. And third sector which has come in last few decades is the IT. These are major players now. Now, the big segment business, they will come and invest somewhere. There has to be an advantage. Either raw material or cost of labor or some technology. Now, we are not going back to what Kolkata was 200 years ago. Today is a global competition. Forget about global. Today in India, every state is competing with each other to back the investment or develop their respective state. So there has to be a USP of Bengal. For USP Bengal, MSME, we start with MSME. MSME, apart from startups are exclusive idea which clicks. But we are hearing about success of startup. We are not hearing of how many failure of startup. So startup is a concept, new generation coming in, and those hitting the bullseye, they are darling of the people, of the society. But there are, behind every MSME business, there are 50% who are failures. And they survive. It's their business sense. If you talk about us, even Mr. Mal, I know him, we have all survived through downs and ups. So one makes it and then people talk about it. MSME on their own cannot create a venture or an economy. MSME can survive only in clusters, and this is the responsibility of political leadership. Today, say we have Surat Diamond. Does Surat make diamonds? No. They have become a hub. This was the vision of the political leadership, that Surat is the diamond hub. Similarly, I gave you an example of diamond. This is the political leadership's vision, how they are going to set up a hub. Calcutta had the potential for many years for garments industry. We are in between two decades. We went down to the lost out to competition southern India, but we are regaining now. But there are problems. There are potential to grow by 500%.
You know, we can always create a kind of niche for ourselves. Not only for my business or any business, you know, when early 50s and 60s, when there were two steel plants made near Calcutta, the Durgapur and Tata Steel, and see what kind of engineering industries boomed in Bengal, right? And we had huge industrial setup coming up everywhere in Bengal, whether it is Habra or anywhere. And now you just see they are in pathetic condition. They are not able to survive because they could not cope up with the technology which is changing so fast, upgradation of the people, skill sets and stuff like that. So these are the big challenges. I think the government first stage and then entrepreneurs on the second stage must take it forward to bring it to, you know, table that what exactly to be done to take it in a right spirit.
Right, and speaking of technology, Shadeep, I want to bring you in here. You know, in a world that's constantly evolving with innovations and technology, tell me, what is the value of a long-standing legacy business today? How have you stayed relevant for so many years, you know, for almost close to 100 years, I feel, or more than that, if I'm not wrong? How do you have to, like, strike the right balance, you know, between blending tradition with technology? What can you tell us?
Yeah, almost 140 years now.
140 years, wow.
So, of course, you have to change with time. That is the main mantra we follow. From the moment I joined this industry, my business, I was looking for adding up more machineries to it. Like the first machine maybe I purchased was a dough maker, dough kneading machine. At that time, dough was even the like small job like making a dough was done with hand. But in bakery industry, see, dough kneaders are everywhere. So I just bought a dough kneading machine, and after that, the whole production of my gulab jamun and Radha Vallabhi, samosa, all increased by many folds. So people got the taste of machinery, that it does not outs the labor, it just enhances your production, and then your business grows and you can employ more people. And that then people were joking that you have done so many machineries, you have put so many machineries in every works, now can you do Jolbhara machine? That was one item, one very famous sandesh that is always done with hand all this year. So I can tell you how it has Jolbhara machine I got from Japan. It is a long story cut short. 1,000 pieces of Jolbhara, 10 people will make in 1 hour. And this machine, when I introduced, we were doing 8,000 pieces with one person in 1 hour. So that way the production increased, and my labor, my artisans could do other things other than Jolbhara. We were only making Jolbhara the whole day, but now we have plenty varieties, like various varieties. We have 250 varieties of mishti and namkeens in our store.
Well, totally out of time today, but before I let you go, and by way of closing remarks, you know, each one of you, if you could just tell us briefly in one line, what do you think it will take Kolkata to become the next global hub, in the sense that how can it become a gateway to the world for India? Mr. Chandra, let's start with you.
We need to identify what is strength area. To me, our strength is not big budget steel or automobile. We have the strength in intellectuality, that is our education system and colleges. So IT is one, but then there are IT, there was issues with SEZ and you have to negotiate out. Second strength is what has been our strength for 400 years from Mughal times, that is our natural wealth. I think we have badly overlooked our agricultural sector. Today there is, if you look at the UN, their projection, there's going to be food shortage by 2030. By 2 billion people will be lacking food. Even the Russian-Ukraine war has opened up the eyes where Bengal used to be East India used to be the food bowl during 200 years ago. It's time the government looks at it. For that, they need investment, planning, and technology. And third sector, I actually grew up in North Bengal in my childhood, and I'm in love with that place. That's my nostalgia. Bengal has, you just name any country which has natural resource like Bengal. We have snow peaks, we have sea beach, we have Sundarbans, and we have historical place, but we don't have tourism. Today, globally, tourism employs 7% of the global employment. And Bengal, with all our God-gifted beauty, we are thinking of steel, we are thinking of cars, we are thinking. Today, just look at Kerala's revenue. I'm not getting into too depth. You can search Google. Kerala, that small state, look at their revenue from tourism. You just need the will and you need the infrastructure. Thank you.
Mr. Ajay?
No, I can't agree more than what he said. Agriculture is definitely a area which has been not really looked into deeply. Horticulture could be one of the fantastic area for Bengal. We have such a fertile land. Not many state in India has three, crops which we have in Bengal. It's unfortunate that we have not been able to harvest it properly and market this properly. 35% of the total produce are wasted in horticulture, which is one of the biggest, I would say catastrophic, which we can see. Finally, the losers are the growers and, of course the middlemen and everybody who is in the chain, they are getting the most benefit of it. I think once these kind of warehousing and stuff like that are properly planned and, lined up the road infra, so that the last mile connect can be made and can be, stored well, I think this can be a huge kind of potential.
Shreep, your closing remarks.
Yeah, as Mr. Chandra and Mr. Mal said, of course, political willingness, political arrangement, and infrastructure is the way out. But I think one big name, if comes to West Bengal, whoever it is, maybe Tata, Adani, Ambani, whoever as famous as Adani, if comes to Bengal, people will flock in, industry will flock in after them, and it will be a different scenario altogether in just with one big name.
Absolutely. Well, I think those were some really insightful observations and takeaways. I'm sure our viewers, and the audiences here had a lot to gain from today's discussion. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much, Mr. Chandra. Thank you so much, Mr. Ajay. Thank you so much, Mr. Shrudeep. So we'll end our discussion here. Thank you so much.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. We hope you enjoyed the discussion. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.